Metal Gear playthrough. Let's go and get the rewards and stuff. Okay. We left
Please
off.
select a mission.
Farming villages in southern Vahan have been subjected to a strategic bombing campaign the past several weeks. The damage is spreading. It's part of the Soviet Scorched Earth operation aimed at wiping out the guerrillas. The target this time is the commander of a Spetsnaz detachment. He's been key to the operation's success. People say this guy's responsible for annihilating the Mujahideen at Tsimasi-Laman, the Hamid fighters, overnight.
I
He's
will
a
also
tough,
play
experienced
most
commander.
of the
Don't underestimate him.
audio logs and
The order
stuff.
from my client in the
I'll
west is
space
to
them
shoot
out
on
though.
sight. They want him out of the picture for good. Sorry, boss.
So this stream is
One's
just
purely
about having
business.
fun and
Wet
for
work.
me
A hit
to
on a
say goodbye
commanding
to the Metal
officer of
Gear
the Soviet
Solid
military.
series.
Nothing personal. We're only doing this because it gets us one step closer
Just
to
to
our
be
goal.
honest, Metal Gear Solid, or Metal Gear Survive, Solid has nothing to do with it. It doesn't look all that great. Anyways, let's do this. We're still gonna play stealthy for a little bit, but I will change it up here in a little while.
Mission accepted.
Let us go here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Use the battle dress.
Deploying.
Okay. I will admit that I am not drunk at all this time. The first stream I was really drunk. But we still got through it, so I think we'll get through this.
Your target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Deshago Calais and eliminate the target.
Ride the Valkyries again.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up.
Analysis complete.
Let's see. Let's see.
Analysis
Is
complete.
that him? Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets.
Я к этому готов. Тоже. Все ясно.
A Soviet soldier. A lot of them came from Central Asia before, but lately they've been using more and more Russians. Simple, really. There's less hesitation to pull the trigger if they're not fighting their own race. Morbid cynicism, but it gets results. That's humanity for you.
Analysis complete.
Oh, that guy's powerful. Oh, yeah.
Analysis complete.
We're gonna wait tonight.
Some will set shortly.
I'm putting it out, it won't stop. Why won't it stop?
Will rise momentarily.
Wow. Okay.
Some will set enemy presence. The map has been updated.
Wow, I did not mean to wait for like 3 days, but that'll work. Let's go this way. Wow, that guy is really, really... Gotcha. got a bail.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Shh. We got this guy.
You gotta extract him.
Crap. I might be in trouble here, guys. Just gotta hide for a minute. Get my health back. I didn't know this thing was as armored as it was, but it's alright. I got this. Wow. There's mortars. There is mortars. Wow, they can see you from really far away. Sorry, we got this. We're gonna regroup. Get out of these stupid mine things. Matter of fact,
Analysis complete.
infinite silencer on this gun. We're going to have to take these guys out slowly one by one.
Это зона 4. Все проверил. Ничего необычного. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Вернитесь на пост. Прием.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Extract him.
We're going to extract everybody.
Analysis complete.
Let's see if we can snipe this guy.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Where is he? Oh, I can't. I'm gonna have to sneak up on this guy. The guy's got the heavy armor stuff on, so yeah, I'm gonna sneak up on him. It's in my way of picking up. Said I'm not trying to do a platinum run or anything. This game is impossible, but I'm just doing it to have fun.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
We gotta go and get him. Ah, crap, the sun's coming up. We gotta hurry.
You gotta extract him.
Sun will rise momentarily.
Oh,
Что за... Охола! Что? Что такое? Солдат упал! Что-то! Черт подери!
go, go.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
I wanna die.
You gotta extract him. He's coming too. Roger that.
Wow. So those guys are, I can't kill them with my whatchamacallit guns. That ain't good. Oh crap. That's horse shit. Oh. I am ill prepared for this. So we are going to fall back. fact, I'm pretty sure a helicopter. I just noticed I didn't bring any health or anything like that. I just loaded. So we're gonna wait.
Whoa, whoa!
Let's see what we got here. Let us supply drop weapons and ammo. I just need something that I can actually hurt these things with. So we pretty sure it's that one's what I want. What's the stun? I want that. Well, since I don't know what gun I want out of that, we'll go for the heavy
Clouds
machine gun.
approaching. Please select supplies requested.
I will become more prepared next time, I swear.
Supply
Oh
drop
shit.
complete.
It's coming this way.
Boss, get down. That's an enemy gunship. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
We're just gonna lay here for a second though. Until that fucking thing goes away. Go away, Mr. Gunship. I don't want none. This is just in case I run across one of them big motherfuckers again. I'm gonna use my pistol up to that point.
Extraction arrived at base.
Эй, кто это? Что ты, в порядке? Что это? Эй, смотри!
You gotta extract him.
Я с этим!
КП-104. Тут происходит что-то странное. Что указали? Прием. Это КП.
sorry guys, that sucked. Yeah,
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
we are going to restart that mission aboard the ACC, and I'm going to prep for that because I didn't know I didn't have any rations or anything like that. That ain't an excuse. That was just a total screw up on my part. But damn, those shotguns tend to hurt. So we're gonna do this heavy combat wise. Actually, we're gonna do this a little bit mixed combat wise.
Please select a mission.
Failed hard on that one. Okay,
Mission accepted.
we're also gonna start out on this one. Yeah, see, I ain't got nothing on it. Okay, so equipment. Characters. Not using that. That's awesome. We're probably gonna take that. Gonna stay. Actually, as a matter of fact, yeah. Those you can knock yourself out. That's so good on that. Items. That's interesting. Actually, I gotta try it the other way again, though. But I'll leave the machine gun on, just in case it goes tits up. Yeah. Also, we'll do something else. We haven't got D-Dog yet, so I'll only use the things that we have right now in the story. Alright. We're gonna go in at 9. gonna try this one more time as stealth. I know I said I'm gonna try it as assault, but I don't. That's a lot of stuff. Those shotguns hurt. Excuse me.
Your target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Deshago Calais and eliminate the target.
This is right here, might as well get it, right? They said I'm gonna mainly try to use the pistol. Yeah, we don't care about them wolves, they don't really mean nothing. Just gotta watch out for the tower, though. Totally guards over there.
Whoa! Whoa!
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Oh.
Yeah.
We gotta make a pit
Extraction
stop.
arrived at Mother Base. Post captured.
Those guys are really higher level. I had to pick them up. And that. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Extract him.
Okay. Back to it.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Okay. There is no need to rush this.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up.
Complete. You have arrived at your destination. Analysis complete.
Those guys are hard to take, like knock out and take, because they're basically immune to all your trank stuff. I know there's at least like 20 in here, so we gotta be careful. Don't have to take everybody. Not everybody's a problem. It's kind of like the whole Pokemon thing. I know you didn't play those games, but you gotta collect all of them.
Analysis complete.
Here first. Oh, excuse me again. Oh, sorry. Make sure he's in there.
The map has been updated.
Come on. Out with it.
That's funny. Now. Up that way.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
That was close. On that.
Subject on board.
It's one of
Leave the
those
rest to
heavy
us.
guys. That guy can Ah! Shit. Wow, I am just sucking big time today.
Boss, what
Yeah,
happened?
we're just gonna redo
Boss!
that. Jesus. That is the second try. That is the third death. Wow. I'm just really sucking right now, man. Look at this dickle again. We'll get it.
Where are your friends?
Not has been updated.
Okay, let's try that again. We're not dying this time. If we do, well, then I really suck. Oh, come on.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Это КП, понял. Усилить безопасность. Повышенная боевая готовность. Конец связи.
Yeah. They're all moving in this direction, so I need to get out of here. Where? Not dying.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
We're flanking. Oh, flare. So they know where I'm at. Yep, they know where I'm at. These fucking fields here make it very hard to like make a real clean getaway.
КП, это Зоя 2. Потерял визуальный контакт. Перемещаюсь к последней известной позиции. Прием. Это КП, понял. Проверьте.
Just in case.
Конец связи.
At least we know where the dumbass is.
КП, это 2004. Никаких признаков противника. Обыскиваем местность. Прием. Это КП, понял. Не позволяйте им застать вас врасплох. Будьте начеку. Конец связи. Штаб, это КП. Понадеялся огонь. Открыли огонь в ответ. Но потеряли врага. Враг может все еще прятаться поблизости. Соблюдайте осторожность. Прием.
No range. I'm gonna have to run. Let it go.
He's coming too. Roger that.
What, I got any grenades? I do. Damn it.
Talk to me! Snake!
He just asked me if I wanted the chicken hat. Did you see that? He just asked me if I wanted the chicken hat. That's how bad I'm doing. I think I was doing better the last time when I was drunk. Damn it. I'm just going to go to hit the guy and get this over with because I've wasted an hour on this one mission. Don't get me wrong, I plan on streaming for a while, but this is not progress here.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Speak. Where are your friends?
Your map has been updated.
Like I said, I only brought the
You can
machine
extract him.
case. We're just gonna avoid those guys.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
That is way too much heat. Check out Spotlight Joe up here. Easy pickings.
Вышел. Наконец-то стали расчищать танки по банкам.
He's coming too. Roger that.
That is a shielded guy.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. You have arrived at your destination.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. There. That's the target.
Gotcha. We did it.
Target secured. I'll tell the client we sent the target to a place outside of heaven. Boss, your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around.
Let's see what else we got here. Mission. Commander between.
You gotta extract him.
Pick a. Yeah, we don't need to do any of that. Let's just get out of here. I don't want to. Choke, 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 knockout. Okay. Now, I guess we need to see if there's any more loot.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Wow, there actually is. I have to get all this loot. I'm sorry, but I do.
Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination. storm approaching.
We're almost done with this.
Marker placed.
Be cautious.
You have arrived at your destination.
And I think we're done. What is that flower thing I gotta pick? Pick a Harma in the desert between Shaggy Village. Okay, well, if there's one on the map, we'll go for it. Ooh. I see no Harma. Oh well, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. One of these days, I'm gonna have to figure out why they're fighting, and why did I just jump off the horse? No clue. That sucked for me. I am sorry I put you guys through that. I know there's nobody watching now, but I'm still gonna talk like there is. Just because. Yeah. That sucked. I am ashamed. It's been a while since I've played this. Like I said, the last time I played it, I was really drunk. I think I did better at that time, though.
This is Pequod, on station at LZ.
Oh well.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Mission complete. Great work.
Not too well, actually. Like I said, that last time I did pretty well. I think I'm at a total of 4 deaths now. That can't be good. Let's go ahead and skip that. Yeah, we'll do better though. We hope. Anyways, I promised to. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we'll go through all these in a later day. Like I said,
hospitalized in Dikelia, a British
Go through
sovereign base
the
area on Cyprus.
Sellout ones right now, and then we'll play a mission, and then I'll go through the Afghanistan ones. That's
You
what
got
I'm doing.
moved from Cuba's little
Each set.
America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Dikelia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto.
Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy?
Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Dikelia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all.
What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south.
Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in 74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established.
And Dikelia sits right on top of it.
It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around.
So how do things stand?
Now, last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America, they all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like death, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames. And then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different. You're up.
We're changing ships.
But we can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler.
The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it?
Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? You're gonna transfer to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road.
And then?
Continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter-strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It'll be a tough march.
Better horses than boats.
Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, the United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news.
The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics.
Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics?
Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won him the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union is an evil empire.
The Second Cold War.
And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran, Iraq. The story never changes.
Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently, his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs.
Islamic extremists?
Yes, fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years. We've had extremist students in Iran take U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon.
Seems like nothing's
foreign soldiers
changed, huh?
stationed there have been killed. The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism. Afraid of losing their own men, they pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity.
Takes
Private
place
forces,
in 1985,
small armies with no national affiliation, working for the
So
highest bidder.
yeah, that's
That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet
no
the soaring
ISIS and
demand.
all that kind of crap
Miller's organization is just one of many
Because
PFs now.
in
The
the
entire
past.
world
And I
is
know
after
this
you.
is totally
But at
fiction,
the
of
same
course.
time, it needs you too. Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation.
I remember.
Soldiers
I
Without
see.
Borders.
You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now, but this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men. Basically
Peace Walker.
mercenaries. Miller was
Really
among
good
them.
game.
Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force. The reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. The Mother Base. That would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men. As the organization got bigger, your military powers swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too damn successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF.
Skullface.
They're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher.
That ended bad.
While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base.
This all happened
At the
in
same
Ground
time,
Zeroes.
C4 they placed on the strut rags went off. The whole thing went down. And
There went Metal Gear Zeke. It was crushed.
kisses and hugs followed by a big F you. All because of Miller's blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected. You remember a certain scientist.
Huey Emmerich.
Huey was responsible for bringing the inspection team on board,
Piece of
giving the
crap.
enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again, until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, your men moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. There was a woman named Eva who arranged that.
Eva.
Rings a bell, huh? Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full of venom. The days of Naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you. Here, Snake, try this on.
A prosthetic arm.
Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think?
I can still feel my real arm.
You better get used to this one quick. You have any pain?
Every now and then.
Tips of
Where?
the fingers.
My fingertips. My left fingertips.
Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand.
Yeah.
What about your vision? Can you see okay?
Yeah, at the moment.
The shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex.
Yeah. The doctor mentioned that.
Your brain might process visual information incorrectly. In other words,
Hallucinations.
you could have hallucinations. You might see things that aren't there, and not see things as they really are. You experience any of that?
I think so.
When?
Right after I wake up. Colors look faded.
Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and death in the field. You'll need to watch out for that.
I will.
All right. You should continue your physio. We'll be arriving soon. It's the last chance you'll get.
Alright.
Ocelot. I hear they started calling you Shalashaska in Afghanistan. What's that about?
You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with a type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system. OKB scientists and engineers who'd been convicted of crimes were sent to a Sharashka for forced R&D. The Sharashkas were supervised by Lavrenti Beria of the NKVD, the secret police, under the official name 4th Special Department.
Forced research? That's not very different from what we do here.
Diamond Dogs is different. Everyone here believes in you. Regardless of where they came from or why they're here, they revere you. And they're fighting because it was their choice.
And if it wasn't, they'd leave?
Who knows? That's our reality here, whether it's real or not. If there's another truth, I don't want to know it. All that matters is that's the concept that's taken shape in their heads. The traces of a group ideology, our superstructure, to put it in Marxist terms.
All right. Go on.
Right. So anyway, at some point the enemy started calling me Sharashka. This was after the war in Afghanistan broke out. While I was keeping an eye on you in that hospital, I was also heading up interrogations here. The men I broke gave up
Talks
their
about
comrades
this in
and
Metal Gear
families
Solid 1
everything they
when he's
wanted to
torturing
protect the
Solid
most.
Snake.
No real cause for it. I just let myself get caught up in the old Russian pride. And suddenly I received the honor of becoming Special Interrogation Advisor to the forced labor camps. But the more men I interrogated, the more people saw me as just that, the interrogator. It helped cover my real objective of keeping you safe.
You went that far for me.
Far enough to keep you alive. I ended up being pretty well known among the Afghan guerrillas. Some of them would have seen me on the battlefield, and that's how I got the second half of the name. Shashka. It's a sword, a type of saber from the Caucasus. Russian dragoons and Cossacks carried them into battle. Now, the Russian Empire had a general by the name of Fyodor Arturovich Keller. His bravery earned him the nickname Russia's Greatest Shashka. Someone must have known about that, because somewhere along the line, Shashka got stuck on the end of Sharashka. The guerrillas were using the name amongst themselves. By the time I got to hearing about it, pronunciation had wound up as Shalashashka.
So half Gulag, half Hero sword. It was a perfect fit.
But you see how rumors and ideas about people can get out of hand fast. Once you create a character and put it out there in public mind, it warps and twists with every baseless rumor. And before you know it, all people see are phantoms. In my case, it works out just fine. I'm plenty used to working under aliases.
We're almost done here, then we'll start the
The
mission
treaty was drawn up
spec.
to limit not just the size of the U.S. and Soviet Union's nuclear arsenals, but also their delivery systems. The whole deal. Just when we thought all those years of negotiations had paid off, somebody decides to invade Afghanistan. The timing couldn't have been worse.
The president was in the middle of the SALT II talks back then.
Maybe while you were busy trying to stop Peace Walker? I heard. President Ford was meeting with the General Secretary in Vladivostok. In his absence, the political brass in America detected what they didn't realize was false nuclear launch data from Peace Walker. They were on the verge of ordering a retaliatory nuclear strike.
Coleman's big idea? Humans are incapable of destroying themselves. Turns out he never knew what humans are capable of.
If that AI, the boss, hadn't found a way to stop the fake data transmission, they probably would have gone ahead with the launch.
Deterrence was revealed as the pipe dream it was.
All thanks to you and her. The U.S.-Soviet talks looked set to fall through. What happened in Nicaragua no doubt helped trigger a change of heart. But in the end,
the time's to find the politics. When you grab their tail, they turn and bite your hand.
I first met you 20 years ago now. The place was Selenouyarsk in the Soviet Union. We were enemies. I was with the GRU. You were still fighting for America. 1964. Operation Snake Eater. Its objective? The assassination of the legendary soldier known as the Boss. When you returned home successful, they awarded you the title Big Boss. Your CO, Zero, sought to carry on the boss's will by covertly establishing his own organization. You knew the original members from Operation Snake Eater. From America, there was David O, or as he was to you, Major Zero. Donald Anderson, a.k.a. Sigint. Dr. Clark, who went by a paramedic during the operation. And the fourth, you. From China, there was Eva. And me, Ocelot. From the Soviet Union. 6 in total.
That's a really
To
great
us,
game.
government notions of
Metal Gear
friends
Solid
and foe
3.
were meaningless.
It's probably my favorite
As
one out
were
of all
East
of
and
them.
West. We joined forces
It's hard
by
to
our
pick, though.
will alone. Our objective was to fulfill the boss's dying wish. To make the world one. And to do it, Zero used the Philosopher's Legacy, the secret war fund you obtained during Operation Snake Eater. This organization would go on to become Cypher. I, on the other hand, was left with a problem. You only recovered half of the legacy. I had to locate the other half myself. When I found the funds, I passed them on to Zero, just as you wanted.
I still trusted him in those days.
We thought what he was doing was the boss's will, until he started that one project.
Les enfants terribles, Zero called it.
You parted ways, as did Eva, leaving only Anderson and Clark still with him. I maintained limited contact, although truth be told, we were just keeping tabs on one another. The reason was always you. After you returned to the Army and created Foxhound, you left America. For a time, even I'd lost track of you. I'd imagine Zero did too. You always were the best when it came to hide and seek. Zero created
After this one, we'll
Cypher,
play
an
the next
information
mission. I think
network
we're on
to tap
mission
into
4.
every corner of the globe. Woven together, Cypher's arteries make the world just one big organism. And that's not all.
Mission 4 or 5.
It
actually.
also monitors the thorn in Zero's side. That's you, tracking your coordinates wherever you might go. The further you strayed from your roots, the larger Zero became. It's as if he was trying to close the gap between you. But before long, he disappeared from public life. Only a few people had direct contact with him. For a time, I was one of them. Then a year after you fell into your coma, he slipped out of sight entirely. Since then, nothing. No photos, no recordings, not even a reliable rumor as to his whereabouts. I tried every method I could think of, but Zero was gone. Freed of his control, his creation, his power continued to grow. Cypher is a great beast, and Zero was its spine. But even without him, it's endured, evolved. But now its body is rotting, riddled with parasites. Parasites like the ones who attacked you 9 years ago in the Caribbean, and then at the hospital. Cypher's
XOF.
Black Ops unit. XOF. They learned where you were and came to wipe the slate clean.
Okay. Yeah. There they go again. Fighting.
Please select a mission.
Okay, let's see.
If we're going to expand Mother Base,
Wait.
we need more manpower. And not just for combat roles either. R&D, the support unit, intel, each demands a different set of skills. If we want to achieve what we've set
Actually,
out to
we're
do,
on this mission. Sorry, guys.
boss, information warfare is more than just intel gathering. It also means disrupting enemy communications. Your mission is to punch a hole in the comms network between the Soviet outposts. That'll cut off their means to call in reinforcements.
Technically, we were given this mission by a Western-backed Arab organization supporting the guerrillas.
But it'll also give us a leg up in the future. Take a look at the location of the Eastern Communications Post on your iDroid. Head there and destroy its comms equipment. He who controls information controls operations. Just look at Cypher. Good luck, boss.
Mission accepted.
We'll try the sneaking thing again. We're actually getting the hang of it again.
Deploying.
C2W.
Boss, you need to disable the Soviets' reinforcement system by putting a hole in their base-to-base comms network. Head for the Eastern Communications Post and destroy its comms equipment. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility.
Be careful down there, boss.
Clouds approaching. Analysis complete. Outpost captured.
Oops! Didn't mean to kill him. I picked the wrong gun. Whoops.
Subject on board.
Face.
Leave the rest to us.
I meant to use the sniper rifle. Sorry, dude. Get him out of the way. Diamonds in. Okay. Plants.
Marker placed.
Ah.
Marker removed. Marker placed. Marker removed.
Jeez.
You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed.
Okay.
You have arrived at your destination. Extraction arrived at multibase.
We are going to go up here and destroy some radio equipment.
Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated.
The target is there.
Oh, gee. Zero out.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Headshot.
Extraction arrived at multibase.
Oh, crap.
You gotta extract him. You made it. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility.
Enemy analysis complete. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Let's see what we got.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Let's see, is he right taken now? So he's gonna get headshot, so... Wait a second. That would have been a bad idea.
Что это?
Jeez, that was pretty tough. This is bloody worth it.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Какой-то злой 7. Расследуй немедленно. Конец связи.
The map has been updated.
КП злой 7. Мы прибыли. Осматриваем сектор. Прием. КП, понял. Проверьте окрестности. Конец связи.
The map has been
КП
updated.
злой 7. Все проверил. Ничего необычного. Прием.
Got you. Choke, choke,
Это
choke.
КП. Понял. Держитесь на пост. Прием.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete. The weather will clear shortly.
Choke, choke, choke again.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
See, we're doing pretty good now. Let's say that.
Похоже, у нас на базе противник. Жду указаний. Прием.
He's coming too. That radio transmitter is used to relay messages between outposts. Take it out and the mission's complete.
Haha. Oh well.
Всем боевым группам.
Good work. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
На боевые позиции.
Has been updated.
Давай, КП. Разбить воздух.
Choke, choke, choke.
Post captured.
Wow, I did not do bad at all there. Got caught a little bit there. Overall, not too bad.
You gotta extract him.
So, what else am I supposed to do here? Walu Village. Oh well, let's just get out of here. Really make sure there's no more. See, there's some more.
Marker placed.
Let's go first. Grab enough loot.
You have arrived at your destination.
Okay.
Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
This guy stops, I'll take it. Gotcha. Spill it out.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Put it away. And your truck will come too. Might as well, right?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
I think I'm good. Yep. Okay. Let's extract.
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Oh, D-horse. Wrong button. Just clobber D-horse.
Whoa, whoa! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this game is fun. Just wish they hadn't half-assed at the end of the story, though.
Arrived at another base.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Those mouses are standing here.
This is Pequod. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
And there goes D-horse. That was funny.
No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Departing.
Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. Great work.
Gotta be again. At least I didn't die any of that time. We're getting better. Let's go ahead and skip that. If people were in here and didn't want me to skip it, I wouldn't, but there's somebody in here, so I'll skip the tedious stuff. Let's see. I need a soda, so I will. See what I got here. I'll play a song and then we'll play another mission. I'll be back in a minute. I'll be right back. I realize that might not have been the greatest idea now that I think about it playing the stream. So we will not, in fact, do that. We will only play music from the game, and if that, not even that. I just realized I don't want to make any money off this or anything, but yeah, I'd like it to still be up. So instead of the song, we will start the Afghanistan thing, and then there we go. Yeah.
Christmas Eve, 1979.
I'll be right back.
The Soviet Union rolled into Afghanistan. Muslims have revolted against the Soviet-friendly regime established the year before. The DRA forces could no longer contain it themselves, so the Soviets went in to intervene. The Afghan government was powerless and fraught with infighting. They lost the hearts and minds of the people, and that alarmed the Soviet leadership. With the Islamic Revolution happening in Iran, the Soviets felt they had to act fast or risk the spread of Islamic revivalism. A superpower, sending a motorized rifle division against men on horseback with antique rifles. Everyone thought it'd be over in an instant. Only it wasn't. Some Muslims made their fight a jihad, a holy war, and began a guerrilla campaign on all fronts. A war of attrition. These fighters call themselves Mujahideen. They're being supported by the West through Pakistan. That's why Miller was involved. He was training them near the Zero Line, sponsored by the CIA. The war has become a nightmare for the Soviet troops stationed here. They thought they'd be headed home in 6 months at most. Then a year passed.
Okay, I am back.
2 years. Now here we are 4 years on with no exit in sight. Afghanistan has become the Soviet Union's Vietnam. The Soviet troops on the ground want to go home, but at least they have homes to go back to. The Afghans have lost theirs. The Soviets destroy the kishlaks, villages, wherever they can. They burn down homes and fields, fill in wells, turn pastures into minefields. It's created a mass of refugees who fled to Pakistan. If the Mujahideen are fish swimming around the villages, the Soviets will go so far as to dry out their ocean. But this has had a big price. There's bitter resentment among the Afghans, and they're taking out their anger on the soldiers on the front lines. Among the Mujahideen are the Pashtun people. They're fiercely devoted to their code of Badal, or revenge. Soviets they've captured have had their hands, feet, and noses cut off before being left to die at the side of the road, just to show their comrades what they're capable of. Friendlies who come across them can do nothing but put them out of their misery. Then they burn down another village in retaliation, and the cycle of vengeance goes on. This war, the Kremlin never expected to have this much trouble against the Mujahideen. Afghanistan is a tribal society. Tradition demands that its people stand up to any outsiders who set foot on their land. With the honor of their people at stake, they have everything to fight for. No matter how hard the Soviets hit them, they continue to appear out of nowhere, striking back, then vanishing again. But there's one thing even the Mujahideen fear. Every last one of them. The Soviet gunships. They're highly maneuverable and equipped with massive firepower. Plus, the underside of the fuselage is heavily armored. The Mujahideen can barely scratch them with their small arms. Anyone who hangs around gets mowed down by the gunship's heavy machine guns. This new honeybee weapon that was given to the Hamid fighters, it's no doubt something to help them strike back against the gunships, which makes it a weapon that could change the course of the war. Those guerrilla fighters known as Mujahideen don't actually belong to a single organization. Afghanistan is a multi-ethnic country. You've got the Pashtuns, the Tajiks, Uzbeks, Hazaras, and each of them is split into their own tribes, large and small. Each ethnicity has several rebel organizations that their various tribes gather under. They're united under the banner of jihad. That doesn't mean they work like a single standing army. Just look at the area around Smasy Fort. A lot of Tajiks used to live there. They fled after the Soviets started their Scorched Earth campaign. With the area uninhabited, the Hamid fighters, who are Pashtun, decided to move in. The Hamids are based out of the city of Peshawar. We passed through it on the western edge of Pakistan. The Pashtun people have long lived in Afghanistan and western Pakistan. They used to travel back and forth frequently. Then Britain went
Most
and
of the
established
story
a
of
border
this
that still
game
stands
is in
today.
these audio
The Hamid
logs.
fighters get generous support from the Pakistani government. The government wants to
I mean,
use them to
there's some
secure
videos and
influence
stuff,
over
but
Afghanistan.
honestly, most
Their
of it's in
liaison
these.
with the Hamids is Inner Services Intelligence, and behind the ISI, you have the CIA. That's probably how the honeybee ended up in the hands of the Hamid men. I had the R&D team analyze the honeybee. How? The CIA wanted it with everything intact. They took it apart to look at it. Then they put it back together. Everything intact. That's the R&D boys, all right. Turns out the honeybee's homing capabilities are a cut above previous man paths.
It can detect a broad range of infrared wavelengths and even ultraviolet for supplementary guidance.
Hence the name, huh?
Right. Honeybees rely on UV light to fly. With this device, flares don't do the target any good.
That's why the Soviets are losing so many gunships.
And why the CIA was so desperate to get it back. It wasn't just about preventing the Soviets from devising countermeasures. What if the likes of Iran got their hands on it?
American aircraft would be put at risk too.
We can use this tech to develop our own portable missile. That'll give us a huge advantage. It'll take a little time before the analysis results can be applied to actual implementation. But we'll keep moving with the research.
So what we got here?
Please specify a project.
Stun heavy machine gun. Capture cage. Blast arm. We're gonna make a blast arm. That's gonna be a while. Oh, we actually already had blast arm. These are just level ups. Those won't be done anytime soon. Oh, that's expensive. So for this,
Please specify a project.
yeah, we don't want that. Okay, let's just go and do another mission.
Please select a mission.
Grab this.
If we're going to expand Mother Base, we
Yeah,
need more
right,
manpower. And not just for combat roles either. R&D, the support unit, intel, each demands a different set of skills. If we want to achieve what we've set out to do, Diamond Dogs has got to get stronger. There's a Soviet engineer I want to have join us. He was the one who built your prosthesis. With him on our side, who knows what sort of enhancements he'll come up with for it. He tried to defect but didn't make it, and now he's being held prisoner at Waksin Barracks. Find this engineer and get him out. Having him on our R&D team will go a long way to helping Diamond Dogs grow.
Mission accepted.
I had like health items and stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Mother Base for a second just to see something. Cause don't you have? I'm not be thinking of Peace Walker. Actually, no.
Please select a landing zone.
I'm just gonna do one more mission. I don't need the health and everything like that.
Please select a mission. Mission accepted.
That's a shotgun. I'll go ahead and keep my one, my... Also, let's go out with the bang. one D-horse. Or just one D-horse. Okay. The reason I picked the heavy gear and the rocket launcher is I saw that helicopter, and I want to try to sneak.
Boss, the Soviet engineer is being held prisoner at the Wak Sin barracks. You need to find him and get him out. He tried to defect from the base camp up north, but it didn't work out. Now they're holding him at Wak Sin. He's offered his technical skills to us as long as we can guarantee his safety. You have to extract the target.
Extract the target.
Boss, your target just happens to be the man who developed your prosthetic hand. But he's the only one capable of maintaining it. If we bring him in, I'm sure he'll be able to modify it in all kinds of ways as well.
Be careful down there, boss.
Yeah.
This place is gonna suck.
That's the Wak Sin barracks. The target is somewhere inside that outpost. The Soviets consider him a traitor now, so he'll be treated like any other prisoner.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Okay, we got this. Told you.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Oh, he's getting shot in the face. He ain't worth bringing back.
You have arrived at your destination.
He came out of the road though. Put him over here in this shack. Like intel.
Nice find. Analyzing the intel file you picked up. We've got a fix on the target. I've updated your map info. Check it on your iDroid.
bad. Oh shit, I think I saw it. I got some.
Analysis complete.
Extract him.
Analysis complete.
What? Not want to go down.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Stick your head out, I dare you.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Okay, you wanna play? Boom. You're dead. Yeah, I know. We're having fun doing the assault track, so.
Капету, Зоя-1. Потерял визуальный контакт. Перемещаюсь к последней известной позиции. Прием! Это КП, понял. Проверьте, но осторожно. Конец связи.
No power.
Marker placed.
Roger that.
Had that though, honestly. Oh fuck.
Keep an escape route in mind when you head indoors. If you get surrounded, you'll have nowhere to run.
Swag. I like picking up swag.
Cease to amaze, boss.
Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed.
So yeah, I did better with the pseudo-like stealth assault.
You have arrived at your destination.
Oh, where you go? It's a lot of stuff. I think we're ready to...
Marker placed.
That's good. And then, yeah, then that's it. Then we go. And to be honest, after this year, I think we'll call it a stream. About 2 hours and a half. That's what I'm gonna go for until I get, like, really good at it, you know. And then we'll try to go for 4 hours.
Clouds approaching.
But I'm just learning my basis and everything.
Destination.
Sorry for the rocky start, but we've had fun. Still had fun. And like I said, I'll get better at this. And then this is practice run. I'm gonna start streaming games and just putting up clips from games and stuff too. I don't have a camera, so I'm not going to show my face for a while, but I'll do this as a hobby. Anyways, let us get out of here.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select a landing zone.
Really?
Support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Caution, sandstorm approaching.
Come on, viewers, let's get out of here.
Whoa, whoa,
Excuse me.
whoa. Yeah.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
I'm gonna have to, like, figure out why they keep fighting like that. I didn't have to use the machine or the rocket launcher after all. Oh!
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ.
So yeah, that was another decent stream. I
This
say
is
decent,
Pequod.
just
We
because I
can't
had fun.
land.
What? Why can't they land? Is it because of the storm? Come on, come down. Land. Why can't he land? Ah. Jeez, the storm's really bad. Maybe I can't land because of the storm. I don't know.
Please select a landing zone.
Roger.
because of the storm. But yeah, that will be the end of the stream tonight, I guess. Oh, and there went D-Horse. I had fun, and I will continue to post these.
You're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit.
I don't know what daily structure yet, but I'll start working out a structure, you know, schedule and all that.
Extraction.
But we'll be on mission 6 when I come back. We'll go from mission 6 to 10. We'll try to get, you know, some stuff going. Anyways, that'll be all tonight for Punisher Snake Gaming. Enjoy and have a great morning.